What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Dynasty. Today, we're going to be doing things just a little bit differently than our normal show. Normally, we would have MFGDs, my co-host War, in here with me to talk 90 minutes about week 3 of the NFL season, all of the games, everything that happened, rookie reports, all that stuff. But we've had a little bit of scheduling conflicts this week, some things with work for War. I'm going out of town for work today, so we're recording this on Tuesday. It'll come out tomorrow, and we're going to do this in about 10 minutes. I'm going to do my best to still summarize the week for you guys, and we can talk a little bit more about fantasy football performances this week. So without wasting any more time, let's hop right into the matchups that happened this week. And let's start with Thursday Night Football, where we did have the San Francisco 49ers at home against the New York Giants. And in this game, the 49ers, they win 30-12. Big days from Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey in this one. But overall, it was just a uncompetitive game. Daniel Jones didn't play very well, and the 49ers end up winning this one. Now, as we go over to Sunday, the Colts, they end up beating the Ravens in overtime, led by Gardner Minshew. The Browns end up beating the Tennessee Titans. The Falcons lose to the Detroit Lions. Sam Laporta had himself a day. The Packers end up beating the Saints. The Texans shocked the world and they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Dolphins put up one of the best offensive performances we have seen in a very, very long time. They put up 70 points on the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry, Broncos country. It doesn't look like y'all are going to be riding anywhere anytime soon. And I'm saying that with a 0-3 team in the back, but it is what it is, man. Speaking of 0-3 teams, I mean, my Minnesota Vikings, they lose a tough one against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Patriots beat the New York Jets, led by Zach Wilson, which we should probably be pulling Zach Wilson as the starter in New York sometime soon, right, Robert Saleh? Right? But then we had the Bills. They ended up beating the Commanders. The Panthers, they lose to the Seahawks. Andy Dalton under center over there in Carolina. And then the Cardinals, they shocked the world again, just like we said earlier with the Houston Texans. The Cardinals, they end up beating the Dallas Cowboys. The Chiefs beat the Bears with Taylor Swift in the stands. The Steelers beat the Raiders. And then Monday Night Football, the Eagles beat the Buccaneers and the Bengals end up beating the Rams. So that's really what happened for the games this week. But let's talk about fantasy football performances. I still wanted to do performances of the week for you guys here this week. So let's start that off with the quarterback position. So our quarterback performance of the week is going to be Justin Herbert. Finished as the QB1 in fantasy football in week 3 with 29.3 fantasy football points per game. And just a couple other performances here, man. Let's keep talking Herbert for a second because he had 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 11 rushing. Ended up finishing as your QB1, like I said, on 47 passing attempts. But Tua Tagovailoa had himself a day as well. Finished as the QB2 with 28.4 points. Lamar Jackson QB3, Kirk Cousins QB4, Pat Mahomes QB5. That rounds out your top 5 quarterbacks on the week. Just to summarize your top 12 here, we had Jordan Love at 6, Andy Dalton 7, Josh Allen at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9, Deshaun Watson at 10, Jimmy G at 11, and that boy CJ Stroud. That's the dance, right? That's the dance. Yeah, that CJ Stroud dance. He did finish as a quarterback 1 in fantasy football this week. So that is your top 12 quarterbacks for fantasy football in week 3. So let's move on and let's talk about our running back performance of the week. And it's a co-award this week, guys. This is the Dolphins backfield. They finished as the running back 1 and 2, so I'm going to merge them together and call them one running back. But they had 96.5 fantasy points combined. One of the most insane games I've ever seen from offensive performance. Mike McDaniel there is just a wizard. He's calling plays like crazy. But Devon Achane, rookie, he finished with 203 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 30 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns in the air, 51.3 fantasy points. Now, his backfield mate, the starter, Raheem Mostert, he also had himself a day. 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 touchdown in the air, a combined 142 yards for Raheem Mostert. But Kenneth Walker is going to finish as the running back 3 this week. Christian McCaffrey, the running back 4. Zach Moss, the running back 5, made a hell of a catch in that game. James Conner, running back 6. Jerome Ford, running back 7. Etienne, 8. McKinnon, 9. Madison, 10. Miles Sanders, 11. And Isaiah Pacheco, 12. So that is going to round out your top 12 running backs of the week here. Really, I feel like there isn't a ton of surprising. I mean, obviously, Jerick McKinnon, we don't always expect to finish as a top 12 running back. The Chiefs did have 2 top 12 running backs this week with Pacheco and McKinnon, but that was game script for the most part. And Jerome Ford, hey, I was on record this week. I was talking about how Jerome Ford had a bad matchup and I didn't really like it against the Tennessee Titans. And he went out there and scored 2 touchdowns. So Jerome Ford had himself a day still for the most part. And he finished as a running back 1 this week. So I think if you picked him up, you were probably pretty happy. But let's move on over to the wide receiver position. And our wide receiver performance of the week is going to be tied to that quarterback performance of the week because it is going to be Keenan Allen, who finishes as the wide receiver 1 here in week 3 with 45.5 fantasy points. And as we look at this, he went 20 targets, 18 receptions, 215 yards, no touchdowns. So 45.5 points on no touchdowns. That is a massive, massive, massive target share for Keenan Allen here in week 3. But Davante Adams also had himself a pretty good week, 172 yards and 2 touchdowns there, finished as the wide receiver 2. We had Adam Thielen as the wide receiver 3, Tyreek Hill as the wide receiver 4, Justin Jefferson the wide receiver 5, Jamar Chase 6, Tank Dell 7, Debo 8, Mike Williams 9, and unfortunately Mike Williams tore his ACL, so he will be out for the season. Amari Cooper 10, AJ Brown 11, and Amon-Ra St. Brown 12. So a pretty good week here from the wide receiver positions, but obviously being led by Keenan Allen and Davante Adams, both scoring over 40 fantasy points for your teams. So last but not least, we still are talking about the tight end position, man. We got to talk about the tight end position. And let's talk about, from a dynasty perspective at least, our tight end performance of the week. And that's going to be Sam Laporta, the rookie, over there in Detroit. Tight end 1 on the week, 22.4 points this one. Sam Laporta finished, like I said, tight end 1, 11 targets, 8 receptions, 84 yards, and a touchdown in this one. Travis Kelce, the tight end 2, probably no surprise. George Kittle, tight end 3. Pharaoh Brown, whatever, tight end 4. Donald Parham, tight end 5. And this is where the tight end position just becomes the tight end position, right? When you have guys like Parham and Brown just being top 5 tight ends on the week. TJ Hawkinson, 6. Didn't catch that last ball there in Minnesota. Could have won us the game. Evan Engram, 7. Pat Freiermuth, 8. Tyler Higbee, 9. Luke Musgrave, 10. Jake Ferguson, 11, and Brevin Jordan, shout out Las Vegas native Brevin Jordan, as a top 12 tight end this week. So that is going to be your performances of the week and your top 12 players for fantasy football at each position. So last but not least, we do this on every show. When we talk about this, the full 90-minute show, we talk about a rookie report. So let's pull up this rookie report here and let's see who the rookie ballers of the week were. And we're going to be starting here, obviously, with Devon Achane. Like I said, 51.3 fantasy points per game. It's going to be hard for somebody to beat that this year so far, I think. Devon Achane, highest scorer so far, but Tank Dell finishes number 2 on the list. Sam Laporta, number 3 on this list. CJ Stroud, like I said, he's been balling, man. He looks good. Number 4 on the list. Marvin Mims, Josh Downs, and I think that's a first-time appearance for Josh Downs here. Zay Flowers, Puka Nacua, Jordan Addison, and Rashee Rice. So those are your rookie ballers of the week, the top 10 rookies in fantasy football for week 3. And hopefully this was a good enough episode for you guys today. Like I said, we had some scheduling conflicts. Normally this goes 90 minutes. We get to talk a lot more trash. We get to go a lot more in depth on these matchups and stuff like that. But I still wanted to get you guys something as far as recapping week 3 of the fantasy football season. So hopefully this will be efficient for you guys. With that being said, go ahead and like this video. It is the best free way to show our channel support. Hit the subscribe button and go join our free Discord so we can help you with fantasy football 24/7, 365. And until our next episode, start sits of the week coming in on Friday and Saturday. This is all I have left for you guys. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.